This is your brain. This is a neuron. Neurons actually fire electrical impulses in a synchronized fashion that results in brain waves. When this idea was first proposed, it was seen as improbable. However, it has been shown to be true that our brains have a clock signal and a set of frequencies that a resonant frequency begins to manifest. This is the Earth. The Earth has a set of frequencies that it operates on, and it's caused by lightning, and it's known as the Schumann resonance, and it's caused by the electrical impulses being bounced between the surface of the Earth and the ionosphere, an electrically charged layer in the atmosphere. Amazingly, our brains, in a relaxed state, in the somewhat transitional zone between sleeping and waking, that can be known as theta, or 7.83 cycles per second to be precise. That's the Earth's frequency. Our brain is not so precise, but when the hemispheres of our brain are synchronized with each other and synchronized with the resonance frequency of the Earth, we seem to develop a capacity for creative, intuitive thinking that is more efficient than our regular state, and may even be part of a larger conscious framework that allows for the possibility of primitive manifestations of unity, the idea of belonging to a larger framework of consciousness. This is not the same as groupthink. This is connecting to a larger mind, the synchronization of consciousness in the universe. Michael Persinger was a Canadian researcher who speculated that this might be the mechanism that allows for strange phenomenon such as cats and dogs finding their way to their owners even when the owners have moved, mothers having premonitions about their children, rabbits sensing when trouble was near and threatening their young. We all have these stories, and they've existed throughout history. Many scientists, including the fellow who discovered brainwaves, including Nikola Tesla, all believed they had some sort of psychic link with the people that they loved. Hans Berger, who was the discoverer of brainwaves, who identified the alpha wave, felt he had a psychic connection with his sister. Even though his sister and he had not talked for years, she sensed that something was terribly wrong, which in fact turned out to be true. Nikola Tesla, even in an age before global communication, sensed his mother was coming near death, and he traveled home to Croatia to find out it was true. He also searched for a mechanism to explain this very personal experience that he had. We exist in an ocean of consciousness. We believe we are conscious. We believe our loved ones are conscious. And we sense there is something greater than just individual consciousness out there. The term panpsychism is used to explain and give a word to something that we find both absolutely intriguing and also somewhat frightening. There are certain words in the scientific community that you cannot even use. We have castes, as in the Hindu idea of the strata of society, and those who belong to the upper classes need to believe that their position is justified. Quite often we're tormented by imposter syndrome. Why am I given all these things, all of this honor, all this wealth? Am I really deserving of it? You know, someone who's a professor who teaches at a university, or someone who becomes a politician, or someone who discovers a new phenomena in science, like Galileo and his discovery of gravity, how it operates in strange, non-intuitive ways, that all objects fall at the same speed. Seems absolutely absurd and yet turned out to be true. Nikola Tesla seemed to be guided by impulse, and he also used and created an electromagnetic oscillator that he would sit in this room with this giant electromagnetic field, and he felt that it enhanced his mental capacities in learning. And now, for the first time in our industrial history, anyway, we have direct evidence that what he believed may in fact be true. Theta Sync is an electromagnetic device that emits the same frequency as the Earth, 7.83 cycles per second, which was shown to help human beings fall into more synchronous patterns of waking and sleeping. It was the work of Rutger Weaver in Germany that showed that human beings can be attuned to the Earth's electromagnetic oscillation variability, meaning that in daytime, the theta signal of the Earth is slightly quicker than at night, and that human beings have the ability to detect this signal. How this was possible was not known, and that wasn't the point of the experiment. The point was just to gain understanding as to how human beings synchronize with the day-night cycle and what are the molecular mechanisms of that. That remained for future researchers to discover. That remained for future researchers to discover. And in the modern age, with computer modeling and powerful computers that allow us to churn through immense data sets, we are, for the first time, understanding how our brains work at the molecular level, and the evidence is clear that our brain waves have a natural tendency to synchronize with external stimuli, and that stimuli can be in the form of light, can be in the form of audio stimulation, as in binaural beats, and now we can see that using direct electromagnetic modulation can also produce this result more effectively. Enhance your mental capacity with Theta Sync, augmented intelligence.